Hi everybody, this is a guide for extra stuff you can do on 1.16 endfights to just play better and whatever. I see a lot of top runners not using some of these. And there's just a lot of small and big stuff here that I think everybody should find useful. So I'll just break down this example. So first of all, immediately upon entering the end, you want to pause for a few reasons. Like instantly on dimension load. So first of all, by the way, this won't add anything to the retime. So this pause does nothing. So first of all, you want to set your FOV to Quake Pro. If you like one cycling on a different FOV, then that's fine. You can change it to that when you're one cycling. But Quake Pro just makes everything a lot easier for like seeing where the dragon is and stuff. And then you also want to check your video settings and make sure your render distance and your entity distance are all the way to max, so that you don't mess up because you were doing preemptive or whatever. And then also you want to do two things. First of all, you want to assess the terrain and see what you're gonna need, and also if you need to pearl to, like, if you're on an island, you want to check your food and health to make sure it's not going to be, detrimental to do so. And you're also going to you're going to look at the pace that you're entering on and see whether you want to play for high roll or low roll. Whether you want to play consistency or for high roll, which doesn't make much sense right now, but I'll explain it later. So after that, you can just unpause and do whatever. So you want to go, obviously, onto the main island. And if you have a pearl right now, if you throw it, I like to organize my inventory by like taking away stuff that you don't need or whatever, while you're pearling up. So you can pickpocket the obby if you can, and then you assess the dragon side. So this dragon's on the right side, so I'm gonna go left, but that's only because I'm playing for high roll. So basically, you can if you want to play for high roll, like the fastest perch you can, then you want to always go the opposite direction that the dragon is. But something that most people don't know is if you're playing for low roll, like you're getting a really good PB and enter, and you just want to play for consistency, you want to almost always go left, even if the dragon is already there. Now, if the dragon is left diagonal, like this, in this position, like it is in Taiga Seed, then you go right, but in every other position you go left, and even though that might seem backwards, you'll actually get a higher chance of a sub 140 perch if you do that. So that's a more consistent option, but you'll lose the ability to high roll sometimes. So now I'm assessing that, and right after you see the dragon, it's good to do the quick pause. That'll usually stop the dragon from being, laggy, which is what makes it look like it's in a 1.14 end fight. You can do that throughout the end fight if you want, just to make sure, because it's just, it's harder to time. And also, that's another reason you should pause upon entering the end and turn up your render distance so that the dragon isn't offset, which means that, like, it'll be a few, like, blocks off from where it should be, like, horizontally or diagonally or whatever, which also makes the beds do less damage. So then you figure out what to do, and then you want to set up your on cycle. So the thing with this is that you should always do right side obby, which doesn't mean like on the right side. It means like directionally, like the opposite of left. This means you should always do the obby on the side of the pillar facing towards where the dragon is. So in this case, since the dragon is on the right, you want to place the obby on the right. If it was on the left, well, you just place the obby on the opposite direction that you're gonna run. So I'm gonna run left, so I place it right. This sounds weird, but if you do it this way, you'll get less random perches, like random flips, I mean, than if you went on wrong side obby. And your first bed is easier to time, and you also don't have to time it early, so it doesn't flip. You'll just get less random flips. It's better height. It's just it'll really improve your one cycling if you practice with it always the same way. And then also you'll notice I do another thing here. I place another block. This is the height fix block. So if the dragon is in really bad height, like non-4-beddable height, you can place a bed on this block like above where you normally would and detonate it early, and that will actually fix the height. So then you can go down to the lower obby and start one cycling, and you can always forward bed this way if you have this block. Sometimes you won't be able to forward bed if you don't. But if you have this block, you'll always be able to forward bed. And also sometimes I've had drag and positioning issues if this offset block, the height fix block is obsidian. So just place a destructible block like that. So then we pearl towards there. This would be another time to organize your inventory. And then you craft your beds and your explosives if you haven't already. And you immediately want to turn around. It doesn't matter how many beds you have in your hotbar as long as you have one, because you can, middle click select block, just to make sure the dragon doesn't instantly perch. So another thing here. You want to throw out your glowstone until you have just as much as there are anchors. That just makes it so that you won't accidentally do too many and mess up your timings. And then also you'll notice I put the anchor and the glowstone in a very specific spot. This is because I use dedicated anchor hotkeys. Which means my 8 hotkey is X and my 9 hotkey is G. So if I once I place the anchor, I can just press X and G and right click for both of them really quickly, and that minimizes the risk of accidentally placing the glowstone first or just messing up that. I actually first saw this idea from Evan K. I'll link him in the description, who does the same setup, but especially if you only have one anchor, this is just really nice to just remove, user error. And then I pause again to stop that. And then here's another example. This is one thing actually I haven't seen anybody else do. Sometimes if there's an Enderman in front of you, this one isn't really bothering me, but it's just an example. But if you have Endermen in front of you, and you want to get them out of the way so you can pearl safely, if you have a bow or snowballs or any other sort of projectile like that, you can shoot them at the body of the Enderman, and it'll cause the Enderman to just teleport away and not aggro to you. So that's a useful trick sometimes. So, the rest of the end fight is somewhat self-explanatory until when the dragon perches. So, I pause again just to make sure absolutely that it's not going to be lag. You don't really need to do it that much. So, you want to set up on the right side, well, not the right side, just the side that you want to be standing on when the dragon is perching, the one that's angled with it correctly. So, you want to assess the height, and don't place your beds yet. So, as I can see, I'm looking at this height, but I realize it would be a bad idea to place that block, because it's going to be bad damage on this flip, and if I wait another one, it's just going to break. So I decided to just one cycle in the normal hobby. But you want to wait to place the bed until the dragon is about this close, because if it flips suddenly, in the middle of the air, you're kind of it's very difficult, especially if you only have 4 beds or something like that, because then you have to break the bed and hope it falls over while you're switching to the other side. But if you wait to do it until you're sure that the dragon won't flip like this, it's just more advantageous and you lessen the risk of messing up. And then that is about it. You'll see me use the dedicated anchor hotkeys. But yeah, I'll just let you enjoy the one cycle right now. And there might be some notes in the pinned comment for extra stuff that I might update over time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Enjoy the one cycle.